guys, and welcome to your 2-Minute Money Manager. I'm your host, Stacey Johnson, and this answer is brought to you by MoneyTalksNews.com, serving up the best in personal finance news and advice since 1991. Today's question comes to us from Sarah. Here's what she says. I'm 40, and I keep reading that there won't be any Social Security left by the time I retire. That doesn't seem fair since they're taking money out of every one of my paychecks to pay for it. Am I right to worry about this? Well, you know, Sarah, let me tell you a little story. When I was a Wall Street investment advisor, I had many conversations with both clients and my peers about how the impending demise of Social Security wasn't going to last. Guess what? That was in the 1980s. I wouldn't be surprised to learn people have been predicting the downfall of Social Security since its creation in 1935. And yet, here it is, still chugging along. So, why do you keep seeing headlines suggesting the system is in trouble? Well, really, because it often is. There were headlines earlier this year suggesting Social Security trust funds will run out by 2034 if nothing is done to cure the funding shortfall. But here's the thing. Headlines like these have popped up many times over the years, and something, at least thus far, has always been done to cure the funding shortfall. So the short answer to your question, Sarah, is yeah. Social Security is highly likely to be around when you reach retirement. The reason is simple if you think about it. There's always going to be a monster group of voters, like me, for example, I'm 63, who can see the light at the end of that tunnel and will be super pissed if we don't get the pension that we paid into this plan for decades. So it's highly likely that Social Security is going to be around. That being said, however, it may not look the same as it does today. Social Security's had plenty of changes over the years already. A few simple examples. When the program started back in 1935, the government took 1% of your paycheck to fund it. Now it's 12.4%, half of that coming from you and half from your employer. Another change, the amount of income that's subject to the tax has gone up. When the program first started, only the first $3,000 of your income was taxed. This year, the tax applies to the first almost $133,000 of your income. Another difference, in 1935, you could start receiving full benefits at 65. Well, that's still the retirement age for some. Full retirement age is now as high as 67, depending on when you were born. Another difference. Until 1983, Social Security payments were non-taxable. Now, however, depending on your overall income, up to half of your benefit can be taxable. So these are some examples of some changes that have occurred over the years, but they're not the only ones. But what they do, though, is they show you how they can keep the Social Security system viable in the future by doing things like that. See, in other words, Uncle Sam could increase the percentage you pay, that your employer pays, that both of you pay. He will almost certainly continue to levy the tax on ever-increasing portions of your income. And the thing that's already started and is most likely to continue, raising that retirement age. According to the National Center for Health Statistics, just 100 years ago, the average life expectancy for men was around age 50. Today, that number is closing in on 80. So, back in the day, people worked until they were literally at death's door. They certainly didn't spend decades in retirement like they do now. Considering that fact, while making 70 your new retirement age may not sound appealing, it's not really all that unreasonable. So if I were a 40-year-old today, I'd expect a higher retirement age than today's. In fact, I often suggest working till 70 anyway, especially if you, like me, enjoy what you're doing and have some degree of flexibility in how often you do it. Now, one last thing. While you may be cheered by the news that Social Security may live as long as you do, don't be fooled. Social Security is not your sole retirement solution. As I'm fond of saying, Social Security was designed to keep seniors from a dog food diet, not a fulfilling retirement. And while it may not disappear entirely, it's highly unlikely to become more generous either. Bottom line, think of Social Security as the icing, but you still need to bake your own retirement cake. You can learn how with tools like our retirement course, which you can find at moneytalksnews.com. That's all I've got for today. My name is Stacy Johnson. You can find me anytime at moneytalksnews.com.